This news is genuinely going to be one of the craziest things you've ever heard. It's so shocking that a prosecutor compared it to something out of a horror movie. And so this news, it comes out of Waterbury, Connecticut, where police got a call about a house fire last month. And when they arrived, they found 56-year-old Kimberly Sullivan, as well as her 32-year-old stepson, who has not been named. And while he was being treated for smoke inhalation, reportedly he revealed that the fire was no accident, with him telling first responders that he intentionally set it, and he simply explained, "I wanted my freedom." Right? And that, because according to an affidavit, he told police that ever since he was 11 years old, he'd been locked inside an 8-by-9-foot storage room for 22 to 24 hours per day without heat or air conditioning. With him saying his parents secured both sides of the door with plywood and a lock and only let him out to do chores, and adding that the last time he ever left the house was with his father when he was 14 or 15 years old. And so as you might imagine with that story, when first responders found him, he looked rough. Or you had a prosecutor comparing him to a survivor of Auschwitz death camp, and for good reason. With the affidavit stating that while he was 5'9", he clocked in at just 68 pounds. With reports adding that his hair was matted, his teeth were rotten, his skin was dirty, as well as the man himself saying that he drank from the toilet because he only got 2 cups of water per day, as well as 2 sandwiches. Right? And so according to him, he was hungry all day, every day for his entire life, which is why in the early years, he said he sneaked out of his room at night to get food and water. And then in the early days when he went to school, he says he asked other kids for food during lunchtime and would sometimes dig for it in the trash out of desperation. But then after his food wrappings were found, that's when he says he started getting locked in his room. And after that, after the school called child welfare investigators twice, he says his mother pulled him out of school in the 4th grade, which again, keep in mind, that was 20 fucking years ago. And since then, he'd reportedly gotten no medical or dental care, and the last time he bathed himself was 2 years ago, with him also saying he used bottles and newspapers to go to the bathroom. Right? All of this is, according to him, the threat of losing what few crumbs he was given and suffering longer lockdowns, that deterred him from trying to escape. But apparently, that changed last month because he reportedly got a hold of some printer paper, hand sanitizer, and an old lighter, which he used to ignite the fire. And then as he and his stepmother fled the house, he reportedly fell to the ground and stayed there so firefighters would be forced to retrieve him, believing, quote, this was his only way out. And when the shocking truth was revealed, neighbors were absolutely floored.
Then when the investigators started asking me about a man that may look like a child, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He was always upstairs on the 2nd floor on the window, like there, like looking like a little ghost. Like he was pale, like white. And then I'm like, I don't know why maybe he doesn't like to come out.
I've been out here, I don't know how many times, with the dogs, cutting grass. If he would have just tapped on the window and said, help me, I could have helped him.
Now with all this, his stepmother, who appeared in handcuffs while wearing a cross from her necklace, is being charged with kidnapping, unlawful restraint, cruelty, assault, and reckless endangerment. But amazingly, with all this, she is insisting on her innocence, with her attorney telling reporters,
he was not locked in a room. She did not restrain him in any way. She provided food. She provided shelter. She is blown away by these allegations. We think as the evidence comes out, you will see that she's not the villain she's being made out to be.
With him adding that until last year, the now deceased biological father lived with them and was responsible for his son's care. And while, obviously we have to wait to see what all information comes in, looking at this situation, right, and this is where we get into the opinion section, he was 68 pounds at 5'9". You had officials at the press conference today saying throughout the years, it appears the locks used on the exterior of that room increased as time progressed and the victim got older and a bit stronger. With the police chief saying in 33 years in law enforcement, this is the worst treatment of humanity that I've ever witnessed. But for now, we'll have to wait to see how things play out. And if this woman is the monster it appears that she may be, put her in a smaller box than she allegedly put her son in for the rest of her life. No sweet release. Just time and time and time. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this clip from the full Philip DeFranco show. And also, a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring our Clips channel. Turn your passion into profit over at squarespace.com/Phil or use the QR code. Because whether you're launching a business or a lucrative side hustle, your website is your digital business card. It's the only space where you control the story, no algorithms or distractions. And with Squarespace, it's so easy because they got a ton of stunning professional templates with drag and drop editing that makes site design incredibly simple, no coding required. So get started for free at squarespace.com/Phil or scan the QR code on screen and use code PHIL for 10% off when ready to launch. Squarespace.com/Phil.